Hello again, good friends. Welcome, new subscribers. I'm Brian from Apex Detail. Today we're going to take a look at the Lake Country Blue Wool / Foam hybrid pads. These are synthetic wool fibers that are woven into a base and then injected with open cell foam, 50/50. So these cut almost as good or aggressive as a natural wool pad, but they're not going to compromise the clear coat, making it hazy or cloudy. They'll leave it clear and finish down much further. That said, it will not cut as good as the natural wool. It will not finish down as good as a foam pad. So they sort of remind me of the Eurofiber 50/50 microfiber blended pads that you can attach to long throw polishers. Those there cut and polish at the same time. They're not great at either one, but depending on what type of compound you team it up with, that's the finish you're going to get. Same thing here, depending on what type of compound you use. So let's take a look at these up close. Then we're going to head out into the shop. I have a demonstration set up. It's a rather extreme demonstration, but we're really going to put these to the test. I'm going to show you what you need to do to team this up with a compound to be able to remove some heavy swirls. Now, you can do that, and you can also then change to a polish and use this exact same pad to finish down to a nice, clear, glossy surface. Let's get to it. I personally grab a bunch of the 5.5-inch and the 3-inch pads. Those fit the backing plates that are on the polishers I use the most. You can see the fibers here and the foam injected more towards the base. The fibers are tightly knitted into a felt base with hook and loop backing to hook onto your backing plate. The base itself is about 1.5 mils thick. These 5.5-inch pads are under $10, $9.99. Most effective on a rotary polisher. Can be used on a force drive such as the Flex 3401 or the Rupes Mille. But as you can see here, you put it on a dual action polisher like a long throw and not very effective because of the motion of the pad itself and the long nap. Now, I also get the 3-inch pads. My little 3-inch polisher works well teamed up with this. These are great for tight areas, bumpers, curvy areas. Let's head out into the shop and put them through the Apex Detail review process. Here for this demonstration, we'll team it up with the Flex PE8 compact rotary. I have a 5.5-inch backing plate attached to it. I have a little area masked off. We're going to use the Wolfgang Concours Uber compound. A great one-step compound. It's another pad-dependent compound. This area here, heavily swirled, heavily scratched. The Uber compound here has micro abrasives and diminishing abrasives. You can use this pad here to do the cutting, switch over to a polishing pad and do the polishing. So we'll shake up those mix of abrasives. I'm going to apply it on this area with a microfiber application pad. I like to spread it out evenly and thick, but not thick enough where it's going to spray and sling the compound all over the place. Then we're going to go ahead and prime the pads. They're dry right out of the pack. 4 or 5 pea-sized drops for this size pad, and I'm going to massage them down into the base of the pad as far as I can, down near those open cell fibers mixed in with the foam. There's going to be some firm pressure applied to the polisher, transferring some energy down into the pad for the first pass. Taking advantage of those diminishing abrasives, we want to get the best cut out of the first pass. I have the polisher tilted on a 5-degree angle or lower, and the tilt or the angle is pointing towards the direction we're going. The back end of the pad will be lifted a little bit, and the pressure will be lifted, and we'll have a little bit less pressure. So we're going to have most of the energy going through the path. Then we'll lighten up each pass as we go by and take advantage of the micro abrasives to finish then. For the second pass here, I have the polisher all but flat on the panel, and I just have one hand firmly holding onto it so I can operate the camera. But even if I had both hands, I would have some very light pressure for the second, third pass. Work it until the compound is completely gone. As you can see here, the ride across the panel is completely smooth. The pads are just top quality, guys. They're very impressive. They are well made and worth every penny. So at this point here, the compound is completely spent. Any residue whatsoever that's left behind, we're going to wipe off. Very little dusting. There's going to be a little bit more dusting when you're using the rotary in the first place than there will be with a DA for the most part. But using this compound here, just to make sure there are no fillers, I'm going to use the Geon Prep, the body prep. We'll wipe that off, wipe it clean, and I'll grab the camera and bring you in close. Huge difference with that first pass. I'm going to make another pass, but as you can see here, it finishes down. It doesn't leave behind a real hefty haze or cloudy area, and it's good to go. We can then finish up with a very fine polish, something like Angel Wax Perfect Polish, or maybe even Sonax Perfect Finish. Cleaning off the pad in between passes, very important. It doesn't matter if that's a foam pad or a wool pad. If you don't have the brush or the spurs, this is my favorite way and the most effective way cleaning them out. Forced air from an air chuck, and I use a little bit of the Geon Body Prep as well to break down some of that crap. So it just blows out of there quicker. So yeah, less lint than a natural wool pad, but there is going to be a little bit of lint here and there as you're cleaning it out. You may notice some in the corners or the cracks of the vehicle, so go ahead and rinse that out with a pressure washer before protection. It also works well with the full size or the heavier polishers. You'll get a little bit of a better cut from them, a little bit more weight pressing down onto the pad, but very smooth, very effective. Although I do have the speed of the video cranked up to keep the video short because I value your time as well. When you're correcting, slow arm movements, 1 inch every second or two. These pads stay nice and cool, guys. The open cell foam and the fibers, especially at the base of the pad, keep the air flowing through. They're nice and safe. I went ahead and corrected the whole hood. I went and cut it. You can see a huge difference here. We're ready to buzz around the car in no time at all with this pad. But before we part ways until the next video, let me do just a real quick short demonstration on this curvy area down here in the bumper. This vehicle, its surface has been abused by a car wash. I'm telling you guys, if you have passes to the car wash, give them away. It would be the best thing for the clear coat of your car. They just absolutely trash them. Anyway, let's get back to it. I have a 3-inch backing plate attached to my 3-inch pneumatic polisher. Let's prime the pad, get to it, remove as many of those scratches and abuse from a car wash as we can to bring out some clarity, and take a look at the gorgeous color that we can now reveal that's underneath all those scratches. Quality pads through and through. No vibration, no skipping. You have complete control of the polisher. Already you could see some clarity peeking through. Unlike some of the wool pads where it might get even more cloudy as you're cutting, these here again finish down very well. And that's going to do it. There you have it. Yes, I am going to have to do another pass or two and then finish it off, but just a huge turnaround thanks to the Lake Country pads. Okay guys, the Lake Country Blue Wool / Foam synthetic pad. They give you a nice smooth ride across the surface. Decent cut, not quite as aggressive as your natural wool pads. They'll finish down, but not quite as good as a foam pad. So it really is dependent on what type of polish or compound you use. We are going to cover the Lake Country wool, white wool, short nap, lintless or low lint pad next. Those cut a little bit better. Those are a little bit more aggressive. We'll take care of those in another video. If you have any questions on these, don't hesitate. Brian from Apex Detail. Catch you in the next video.